Welcome to Haddie Adventures. Today I want to talk about a topic that's really close to my heart, and that's how to land your first job in Canada as a newcomer. If you just recently moved to Canada, first of all, congratulations. It's a beautiful country with lots of opportunities, and I'm sure you've gone through probably a long journey to get to here that you are today. So you should be really feel proud about yourself. When you start looking into job in any new country, really, the market could be quite different. The style of interviews and writing resume could be different, and you could feel overwhelmed. The whole process might feel a little bit daunting. I want you to know that you're not alone. So many people have done it before you. I've done it myself. I've been in your shoes, and I felt really lost at times, and the process was a bit frustrating and sometimes disheartening. And I wish that someone would have gave me a step-by-step guide on how to make this process a little bit easier and smoother. And that's why I'm really making this video for you. Hopefully you can use this step-by-step guide, and hopefully it will make the process much easier for you to find your first job. Before we begin, I want to make a quick note. This YouTube channel is separate from my day job. Everything I share in this channel is based on my own personal experiences, research, and the very diverse career journey that I've had. Let's dive in. First of all, it's all about understanding the job market. When you come to a new country, you want to take a look at your skill sets, your experiences, as well as your interests. Try to figure out which local market in Canada probably suits you more. And sometimes you might not be able to move to a different province or a different city. Maybe you have some limitations that you might not be able to move, but if you can move, it could help so much to find a specific market for your skill set and then move to that market. So as an example, if you have experience in IT, probably Toronto is a great area. The next one, which is also the obvious one, is you need to update your resume. Some of the countries have quite a different culture when it comes to writing resume. So where I came from, the resume writing was more focused on, what did I do in the past, I would say. And also there was a focus at the time when I was working, when the resume was actually quite long, like it would be 3 pages. Here in Canada, the difference I notice is that your resume needs to be clear, concise, and also you need to really focus on your skill set rather than just listing your responsibilities in the past. You need to showcase what is it that you can do, especially when it comes to transferable skill sets. So if you have any leadership experiences, even if it's not in a form of a formal management role, so if you led a project, even if you were not a manager for people who worked with you, those are the type of things that you want to mention, that you have leadership experience. And here's an example. There is also cover letter, and I think that's a bit of a mixed. Lots of people apply for certain roles, and the hiring manager might not even have the time to go through both resume and cover letter. That being said, I have colleagues and friends and family who actually look into the cover letters as well as the resume, and they really care about if the person, first of all, put together the effort to write a cover letter, and also how they write it. So I suggest for your first job especially to definitely write a cover letter, but don't expect that would be significantly important. It might or it might not. Now, how you write your cover letter, be very careful. First of all, not just your cover letter, but also your resume. Both of them need to tailor and be customized for every single job posting. So please don't just submit the one resume for every job posting. You really need to spend time and focus and read the job description and try to use specific keywords and use them in your resume and also your cover letter. Your cover letter cannot be the repeat of your resume. It needs to be more of a story. It needs to be, again, short and concise. Resume, I would say try to limit it to 1 page. Definitely don't do more than 2 page. Cover letter, I would again recommend to limit it to half a page, maximum 1 page. And again, it's very important, like it's very clear when somebody is just having one resume and they're just applying for every job out there. Try to spend time, focus on selecting your top priorities every day. Spend that time to tailor your resume and cover letter, and then submit them. So the next one is leveraging the job search platform. So there are platforms like LinkedIn, Indeed. There are some other ones also when you Google. One of the most famous ones are LinkedIn, which people not only use it for looking for jobs, they also very much use it for building their network, finding people in their area of expertise or where they want to move into in that industry. And it's good to just read some of those materials that people share when you get to be updated on industry trends, the events that are going on. So it's just a really good platform for your career, even after you find your first job. It's very important on LinkedIn to build something professional. My personal opinion is that to not share your personal stories, and like there's a difference between Facebook and LinkedIn. And people more and more, I notice that they use LinkedIn to share their politics point of view or their personal stories. And again, that's okay too, like it's a very personal choice. I would caution, especially if you're new to the country, if you're trying to build your network and your experience and a skill set, you don't have any Canadian experience yet, I would be probably more on the cautious side and be really focused just on the professional career in the beginning. And then, later when you're settled, if you want to use that platform to also share your opinions, it's really your own choice. One more thing that I want to mention is that there's also Canada's Job Bank, which that would give you a wide range of jobs across different sectors. So make sure to check that out as well. So something that you probably keep hearing always, especially in Canada, is networking. Networking is really key here. And I would say that it probably is key everywhere. I've worked in different countries, and in every single country, I found my jobs always only through networking. And that networking wasn't that I knew someone and they gave me a job. It was me going and joining events and job fairs and going and talking to people, so many people. And then there would be this one person that would say, actually, I know someone who is hiring. Do you want me to connect you with that person? And then I talk to that person, and then they put me in an interview, and then I get a job. That being said, I know a lot of people that apply without knowing anyone, and they get amazing careers as well. So it's not like, I don't want you to limit yourself to networking, but it's a really key point to focus on. I would say attend job fairs, community gatherings, check Eventbrite if there's any professional events going on that is close to what you do. There are lots of nonprofits as well that are focused on newcomers and refugees and immigrants, and try to find those ones and see if they have any events or if they have any mentorship programs that you can start to gradually build your network. LinkedIn again is a great platform to find some of the like-minded people or people who are in your profession, and try to connect with them, obviously in a respectful way, because everybody's busy. One thing I would say is, when you reach out to people, genuinely be curious about what they do. Don't look at them as a tool that they're going to give you a job, because that's usually not going to happen anyway in your first 5 interaction. You need to meet so many people and things would just kind of happen. Look at this whole networking as a way to just learn about people, what they do. My first job, I landed it because I attended a massive job fair, and I went and I stopped by every single booth and talked to people, and got rejected, and people wouldn't even be interested to say hello back to me sometimes. And it was such a big job fair, and it took me 2 to 3 days to cover the full job fair, but I made a point to do that. And out of that, there was just this one person that said, yeah, I might have an opportunity, and here's my email, and send me your resume. And that turned to an interview, turned to my first job in Canada, in northern Quebec. And it was really remote, but that created the base for me to then go around and say I have a Canadian experience. And that then led me to my second job. My second job also came from networking. I was in a local community event, just meeting people. And it wasn't even specific to my profession. But then I met someone who had that mining background that I was looking for, and he said, oh, actually I know someone who might be hiring, let me introduce you to that person. And that person met me for lunch and said, yeah, we like you, and here is condition 1 and 2, met those, and then you're hired. And then I started to work in Ontario. Networking doesn't come natural for everyone, especially if you're introvert or if you're shy, you're in a new country, you might not be comfortable with your communication still. So try to start smaller, maybe just kind of meet with, one-on-one with some of the people, go to job fairs or attend these events. You don't even have to talk, but just try to go there, and then you get gradually comfortable. I might put together a video specifically on networking and give you some tips and advice. Let me know, comment below if you're interested. The next one is tap into settlement agencies. So there are organizations like YMCA that has employment services, also COSTI, and they provide workshops, interview prep, they help you with your resume. They might put you in touch with, there are organizations that put newcomers in touch with mentors. And these are all things that you can just leverage to learn more about the culture and prepare yourself for your interviews and for your really, not just interview and landing your first job, but how to thrive in your career and just build your network through that. Oh, and then there are settlement agencies. Some of them, not only they can provide you with some guidance how to tap into the job market, some of them also provide either discounted or free trainings, including language and communication, which helps you just, to be more comfortable with talking if your language is a different language than English or French. And also some of them even can help with temporary housing and other services. So make sure to check them out. One good idea always, before landing your first job here in Canada or even after, is to always try to figure out what's the gap in your resume from a skill set standpoint and try to upskill yourself. And again, as a newcomer, you might not have the budget to go and take, formal professional Microsoft courses as an example, but there are lots of lower cost training provided through Udemy, Coursera, even YouTube has free trainings for some of the softwares, as an example, if you're looking into. I personally started using Skillshare, and I took only one course so far, but I love that course. But that one is a bit more expensive. And the other one is try to look into the certifications that you might need. Some professions, they need certifications here in Canada. You don't need it usually for your first job. For some of the professions you need, but not for all of them. So as an example, if you're in engineering, you don't need to have your PEng, professional engineering certification, but if you can get that certificate, it really helps. And again, I don't even know if you can get the full certificate before actually having your Canadian experience. I think it's called engineering training, but make sure to check out what are the certifications that are important for your specific profession in Canada. Some of them are mandatory, you have to do them, and some of them are nice to have. So if you can focus on those ones, that would really help you as well. One other thing that is one of my favorites is volunteering and interning. It's such a safe experience to put yourself out there, and you meet like-minded people, but you also get a glance of the working culture and overall culture in Canada. So not only you're doing something good and you feel good about yourself, you're helping someone in need, you're raising funds for noble causes, but also you get to add that as a Canadian experience, as a Canadian voluntary or intern experience. And that would showcase usually to the hiring managers that this person is a proactive person that also cares about community. And that's a pretty valued thing here in Canada. If you don't have any volunteering experience here, but you have volunteering experience before coming to Canada, make sure to add that and have one section specific for your volunteering experiences, and add those even if they're not for Canada. But really, there's, again, you can go to your community centers and settlement agencies. There's usually lots of volunteering opportunities available that are not only fun, but also they can give you that Canadian experience. One other item to check is the recruitment agencies. So there are recruitment agencies, especially for certain professions like IT, that you can try to connect with them, share your resume with them, depending on how senior you are or how your specific profession is. You know, if there's a shortcoming of it in Canada and it's highly demanded, those recruitment agencies, they might even spend and invest time to help you with your resume writing, your interview prep, and put you in touch with the hiring manager. So make sure to check them out, to meet someone, to follow up with them. Definitely. One of the good things about them is that often these recruitment agencies might have access to roles and job postings that are not publicly advertised. Now we're getting to the interesting part, in interview prep. You've done all of that work. You finally got an interview. How would you prepare yourself for that interview? It's a bit nerving, and it's not a very comfortable feeling to go put yourself out there and try to present yourself, especially if you feel that, oh my God, this is my last chance, I have to get it. So there's lots of things when it comes to interview prep that I would say you need to really think about your mindset and just calm yourself for the interview. And one of the ways to be a bit relaxed about the interview is if you are really well prepared, and if you feel that you're really well prepared. So how do you prepare yourself? First of all, Google on the common interview questions, and you can search by two ways. One is to what are the common questions, and those are more focused on soft skills, such as what's your biggest strength or what is your biggest weakness. But also there's another different set of questions that you can look for that's specific to your profession. What are the technical interview questions if I am a geologist and I'm applying for this specific role? So there's lots of materials out there. Make sure that you practice those questions and their answers. When you want to answer interview question, try to use the STAR method, which is situation, task, action, result. So basically you want to organize your answer and give a structure to it. You need to answer the questions completely, but also to the point, clear and short as much as you can. The other thing to prep is that you really need to go in front of mirror, and I know it might not be a comfortable feeling for everyone, but you need to go there and practice in front of mirror. I would even put on the clothes that I want to put on in my interview, and just try to practice as if I'm really in the interview. If you have that opportunity, try to do a mock interview with few people, even if it's your friend or your family, but just so you go through that question and you go through that feeling of answering someone. It all gonna make you feel prepared, and therefore lower that anxiety part. One thing that always have been helping me, not only for interviews but also for any big presentation, is a TED Talk by Amy Cuddy. I'll link it below, but it's basically about fake it till make it, and she gives some strategies on the body language especially that could help you calm down. I still to this day go somewhere quiet when nobody can see me and I do a few of those poses. And one of my favorites is the Superwoman pose or Superman pose. And I really start walking slow. 10 minutes to the interview, I don't rush it. I walk really slow because I don't want my heart rate to go up. And these have been really helping me. Please make sure after the interview, within 24 hours, that's my rule. You can do up to 36 hours, but really short period after, you need to send a thank you note again. Don't copy paste things. Try to make a really nice thank you note. Try to customize it, especially if there was a specific topic that you discussed in the interview. Try to put thoughts on that thank you. It's important to add like a little bit of a touch of a customization and send it out. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about something that's as important as everything that we already discussed, and that's your mindset. The way you approach challenges and setbacks, not only to land your first job, but also for your long-term success, really matters. When I first came to Canada, I faced rejection after rejection. I heard no so many times. And it's really hard, especially if you have a successful career and then you move here and you have to start from scratch. It's a bit disheartening. Even to this date, I let myself to be sad when I'm rejected or when I face a setback for one day. I let myself to grieve, be sad, then sleep over it. And then in the morning, I really look back and try to find, even if it's just one lesson, and there's always something to learn, even from someone who might have not, seemed like a nice or genuine person. But there's always something. Maybe there's something that you can learn about how others perceive you. Maybe there's something you learn about the way that you did your interview or wrote your resume. But if you look at this whole process, and I know it's much easier to say than done, but if you look at this whole process as a journey and not a destination and say, you know what, I'm learning something. It really helps with your happiness and your stress level overall. All of these steps that you're taking, including watching this video, I'm hoping that it's making you a more capable and more confident version of yourself. And hopefully that feeling can help you with the interviews that you're going through. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. I am planning to add more and more videos as we move forward to help you to land your first job, but also to be successful when you land your first job. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, take care.